and welcome everyone to the last Women's Health Tech Wednesday episode of the year. I am your host, Nina Joshi. I would like to formally bring on our guest for today, Samah Ragab from Organon. Thank you so much for being here today, Samah.
Hello, Nina. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for the invitation. It's always my pleasure to be in HIT Lab events, either as a guest or as an audience.
I love that. Well, maybe, I know you are very familiar in the HIT Lab community, but for those that are maybe just tuning in, would love if you could kick things off with a quick, introduction and background.
Yeah, sure. I'm working in Organon Pharma. Um, our company is I'm leading the regulatory affairs and pharmacovigilance in the Middle East. And our company is a company that introducing itself as a women health company.
Oh, wow.
Um, our vision is to bring healthier every day for every woman. I hold a diverse experience in health and biopharma sector, uh, more than 19 years now, and uh, this includes working in health policy, regulations, drug safety, health reform programs, and in both public and private sector. I'm a pharmacist by education, and I have a master's degree in public policy and health systems reform, several certificates and degrees, and professional degrees in regulatory science, digital innovation.
Wow, that's incredible. So curious, was there anything in particular that drew you to, a pharmacy degree or just pharmaceutical science?
Um, Actually, no. At that time, it's long time ago. I have this, scientific maybe mindset. I have this logical and analytical scientific mind. So at that time, I chose to study pharmacy because I wanted to be in the health sector. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to serve patients,
Mm-hmm.
and studying pharmacy is the most, in my opinion, it's much more diverse than medicines, studying medicines or studying, for example, dentistry or other
Okay.
health. Studying pharmacy has lots of diverse uh, sciences and topics. So I chose to study pharmacy.
That's amazing. And of course, the rest is history. There's so many different ways that you've been able to impact using that degree,
Yeah.
which is amazing. And I would love to ask, you have such a multifaceted layers of experience, your academic background in pharma, public policy, health systems. How has all of that kind of informed and influenced your career now, kind of sitting more on the regulatory affairs and drug safety side of the house?
Yeah. Um, Actually, to master any profession, you have two key factors, actually. Solid knowledge base in one hand, and also the opportunity to put these skills and knowledge in practice and to build your expertise.
Right.
Regulatory affairs field is basically a kind of bridge between science on one hand, health laws and regulations in the other hand.
Mm.
And uh, actually, this background in policy regulations, studies with the scientific knowledge base from the pharmaceutical sciences uh, background. So it gives me the ability to be to do this bridging in a good
Mm-hmm.
way, and also these diverse studies gave me the ability to also reimagine and challenge the traditional ways of working and to solve the problems.
Mm-hmm.
So patients can get faster and continuous access to health innovations approved and being in the market.
That's incredible. And I love how you're really talking about these bridges and how all of these different areas of knowledge, and not just knowledge, but as you say, just actually being able to practice it as well has been so helpful. These linkages, I'm imagining it in my mind. And I think that's really incredible that you're able to build that kind of network of bridges. I love that. And, very curious too, as, a leader in this space, kind of within regulatory affairs and really shaping policy, I'm just so curious because you have a lot of experience kind of within the pharmaceutical industry. And now with your current role, really pharmaceutical, centered around women's health. Are there any key, challenges or barriers that you see kind of in this space right now?
Actually, of course, women has faced the historical exclusion, as we all know, from clinical trials, and this resulted in a big gap in women health data, either in conditions that impact women only or other conditions that impact women differently or
Right.
disproportionately. So we still also see a gap in R&D investments in women health. The statistics says that only 4% of all biopharma R&D spending in 2023 directed, only 4% is directed towards female-specific conditions.
Wow.
So actually, this is getting better, however, not in the pace that we all look for, because um, actually we need some innovative approaches in tackling such a historical problem.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for example, why regulators do not think to give special accelerated pathways for the development of women health products or women health innovations, um, especially that those the, what who address unmet needs, same as specific pathways or special pathways are there in orphan drugs, pediatric, or
Mm-hmm.
other rare diseases drugs. So we need to think it in a different way, in an innovative way, because to actually tackle this historical gap, um, needs different and innovative approaches rather than traditional approaches where we are trying uh, to fix it in a normal pace.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I really like how you're talking about a paradigm shift that needs to happen, that are really giving attention to these really, really important conditions that are influencing, half of the population. So I
Yeah,
wholeheartedly agree with you on that front.
yeah, sure.
Amazing. And I mean, I'm also really wanting to learn more just from the work that you're, doing right now or in the past. Can you share any examples of, how having all of this diverse experience within health policy and regulations have kind of contributed maybe to either new projects or reform, anything that has kind of changed or shaped, some of these programs?
Yeah, sure. I will give you two examples, actually, one from the public sector and the other from the private sector, that I really feel humbled and that I participated in these efforts. In the public sector, 8 years ago, maybe or 9 years ago, in 2014, 2015, I worked on the development and the implementation of the first fast track registration pathway in my home country, in Egypt, where
Wow.
I was working in the health authority at that time. And we were able to reduce the registration timeline significantly by at least 50% in all cases. And also, I recall that we issued um, an approval of breakthrough HCV products in that time. It was this, uh, the time where the HCV products have been approved worldwide and changed the face of the HCV condition at that time. So we approved one product in only 3 months. In the normal
Wow.
pathway, it would have taken not less than 2 years.
That's
So
amazing.
I'm really proud of this experience because Egypt, uh, if you know, Egypt was one of the highest in the world in HCV prevalence worldwide.
Mhm.
If it is not the highest, I don't want to say an information which is not accurate, but it is really one of the highest.
Mhm.
And the other example, when I moved to private sector, I joined uh, a big giant American pharmaceutical company at that time.
Mhm.
I worked also, but as a part of the industry association task force um, uh, to collaborate with the local health authority on the regulatory collaboration and harmonization of
Oh.
approval procedures. And I can say that since 2017, when we started this work with the health authority in Egypt, Egypt now has one of the best reliance pathways in Middle East Africa region, and it's got maturity level 3 as an health authority. Also, it joined ICH as an observer last year. So it
Wow.
was really a great effort have been done in these task forces, and it resulted in a lot of improvement in the regulatory environment in Egypt.
That is absolutely incredible. Wow. I mean, what an amazing accomplishment. I think that's amazing. And I'm so kind of just hearing the work that's been done and the fact that you're not only able to, expedite the timeline, but also serve, a really big population and really think about all these other factors that, come together that, accomplish that goal. For you, are there any, when you kind of think about, and it's really interesting too that you kind of did this in Egypt, where I would imagine there's just a lot of these cultural nuances, really having to think about a lot of these things in a global perspective. Are there any, initiatives or policies that you believe are really important to fostering, gender equity and inclusivity, just kind of on a global level when it comes to, this type of innovation or just being able to put something out there?
Yeah, actually, to overcome this historical exclusion from the the, the full picture of clinical trials and R&D, we need to reimagine the full value chain of women health innovation,
Mm.
starting from pre-development even um, uh, stage. So uh, we should start from maybe the the drug development stage where AI and machine learning can help um, uh, in identifying promising candidates in women health. Also, to even clinical trials and diversify clinical trials um, using all the new digital tools to hire uh, uh, multiple site clinical trials and to hire a huge population across very diverse regions. So until even the design of the clinical trials itself, we need to have this new complex clinical trial designs to accelerate the drug development for women health. lots of things that could be done actually. And uh, now with the digital transformation, with the introduction of AI, machine learning, big data, technologies, all of these can support a lot in developing health solutions that address unmet needs and address gaps in women health specifically. So, but what we need is really paying attention on these gaps and um, empower these solutions and fund these solutions.
Yes, absolutely. And it's, I really like that you were talking about each step of the process when it comes to pharmaceutical science, and that it's not just one particular area, but it's almost just a culture shift that needs to happen, and you know, innovations and improvements kind of every step of the way, and how all of that together will change things. I like that you kind of were thinking so broadly about the ecosystem. I have so many additional questions that I want to make sure I get to, but one quick thing, because I love that you mentioned, you know, really digital transformation, and how that can be a great tool to help drive some of this change. For you right now, are you seeing like, what are some of the applications of AI that you're kind of seeing in the, you know, policy and kind of that side?
Now we know AI is used in the early development in the drug design stage to identify and accelerate identification of the potential candidates that will move to clinical trials. As
Cool.
Also in the process itself of managing the full process of development in the pharma companies, from the digital transformation inside the pharma companies, how the digital solutions is accelerating the development and the submission process uh, is also actually evolving in a very fast pace now, and it 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 has really a great potential to improve the timeline of developing a new drug and to shorten it significantly for the sake of the patient at the end. Um, Also, not only for developing the treatments, but also these digital transformation allow us to work on prevention, on health education and disease awareness, especially for diseases that impact women differently, like cardiovascular diseases, or that impact women disproportionately. So also from the public health education, disease awareness, we can utilize these huge improvements in digital channels and social media and all these advancements. Also at the level of the service provision, where we have telemedicines, remote diagnostics, all of these kind of digital applications and technologies allow us to improve access to women health services, especially in remote and unprivileged areas.
100%. You're getting me so excited about just all of these great, you know, applications. I'm just so excited to see as they hopefully continue to grow and mature. But I mean, it's always so incredible to see just how, you know, it's all the technology that exists, but how it's being used. I think it's always so fun to see that.
Yeah,
Love
sure.
that. And of course, when you are not an incredible pharmaceutical expert, I know that you also have a lot of other passions kind of within the space. And one of them is STEM Her Up. Would love if you could share with us a little bit more about the program and really what inspired you to develop this program in Egypt.
I always believe that women can contribute and serve humanity equally as men, maybe in different ways with different set of skills, but they have a lot to give. And and what inspired me to work in this and to work to have or establish STEM Her Up, um, because actually women in STEM field face challenges that might be different in
Mm,
Egypt, that might be different elsewhere.
mhm,
Um, Not only the underrepresentation, it is part of the problem that women are underrepresented in STEM fields. But the more challenging part in, in Egypt or in Middle East in general is how they need to deal with uh, biased culture norms and
mm,
stereotyping all over their career journey.
right.
Also, the underfunding and lack of opportunities in research fields is
Mhm,
another challenge that will meet them. So I just wanted to do something to support a woman who has actually, we start in a very young age. We target the girls in the age of 13 till 17, where
right.
this age when they have to make a decision
Mhm,
whether they will join an undergrad program in STEM fields or they choose another pathway. So we developed this mentoring program for girls in this age to support them with a set of skills and uh, also this scientific mindset
mhm,
how they could be super resilient and agile all the way of their journey in STEM fields.
mhm,
And also, I recognize that the programs in Egypt that targets girls in that early age are very rare. That's why
mm.
I decided to work in this area. So far, we have hired 60 mentors, volunteered
Oh,
in less than 3 years, and we offered over 120 mentoring um, program for girls in this age in Egypt.
that is absolutely inspiring. I can't imagine the level of impact that you have, especially for girls at that age where, they really are faced with making some of those decisions about what they want to do, and to have, a community that supports them, that's guiding them. I can only imagine how encouraging that must be to them as well. So big kudos. That is absolutely an incredible achievement and program that you've developed.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and also, you mentioned not just when it comes to these girls around scientific, like methodology based information and education, but also things like resilience and some of those other like EQ components as well. Kind of curious for you too, kind of as a leader, how do you encourage this culture of, I think, continuous learning and growth in general? Because I can only speak for myself that I even sometimes know that there's new skill sets that I want to learn. Um, so for kind of women that are in STEM roles, how do you kind of continue to inspire and encourage, regardless of where they are in their career, to kind of keep that learning mindset up?
Yeah, uh, thank you for the question. This is really great. We all the time we are actually talking about what are the leaders that very important leadership skills that we need to give to these young women. And for me, I believe what will help them to to perform and keep improving um, all over this journey, I believe is to to empower them and to help them build the growth mindset, the entrepreneurial mindset, the mindset that um, is able to bring new ideas, to bring innovative ideas, to test it, to learn from mistakes rather than avoiding mistakes,
Mm,
um, to keep resilient and keep learning and improving until they reach the goal that they set.
Mhm.
And I can say that leaders should be courageous to give this safe space for young generation to bring ideas and to test it and to learn from it. Because if we just follow the traditional management style of uh, giving guidance and follow SOPs um, and follow the normal ways of doing things, I don't believe that this will work in this modern life and in modern business. So this is very important to work on the growth mindset, to empower them to um, to to take risks, to learn, and to grow.
That is, I absolutely love that. And it really is kind of creating this safe and shared space for not only for growth, and part of growth is, rejection, failure, things don't always work out. So I think that kind of creating that environment is so key. And I love that that is so top of mind for you, and kind of recognizing how vital it is, not just for the younger generation, but I think in general too. So I absolutely love that. And I do realize that we're about 1 minute away. So want to ask my favorite question. Samah, for you, what words of advice do you have for young professionals, maybe starting off their career or looking to pivot into a different career path? Are there any words of advice that you have?
Yeah, in this new world of lots of opportunity and lots of competition, be flexible and open to explore and to learn and to uh, explore different and diverse opportunities. Don't stick to only one pathway. Put several scenarios to yourself and explore it. You might discover that you have several passions, not only one passion to one field. And the other thing, and this is really a key for any success, take control of your life. Don't blame other. Work on yourself, control what you can control, and don't blame others at all. It's all uh, about you, about you working on yourself.
Mm,
And I have a very I love a very nice proverb for the Islamic Sufi philosopher Rumi, um, that says, um, in the past I was brilliant, so I wanted to change the world. Now I am wise, so I want to change myself. So I just wanted to end with this, and I wish all the young people who are listening now best of luck. And really, I enjoyed the conversation today and the discussion with you, Nina. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Samah. What a beautiful way to end our series for this year. Thank you so much for just not only an incredible discussion, but I mean, even just that last question, I'm going to be thinking about it
Yeah.
as we all kind of wrap up with the holidays. So thank you so much, Samah. Also wanted to wish everyone a happy holiday and a happy new year. I am so excited to see kind of what we all collectively as a community accomplish in 2024. So looking forward to seeing everyone in the new year. See you all next time. Bye, everyone. And one last huge shout out to Samah for kind of wrapping us out in style. So really appreciate it. Bye, all.